is up, you sinners and saints? Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi, and today we're gonna get back into Three Hearts Church. Now, in our last video on this crazy conspiracy preacher woman, she was talking about how Bear intentionally gave people AIDS. And, that's just not true. It's not history. That's just not what happened. People did get AIDS, but it wasn't intentional. Bear did pay a shit ton of money, and I'm not justifying that at all. And I'm not going to try to defend corporations more than I have to. But I have to stand for truth. That's what I do here at the Raging Atheist. And if I find out that something I said wasn't truthful, or wasn't 100% accurate, the most accurate version that I can give you, then I'm going to readdress it. I'm going to fix it. Because I'm an ever-evolving human being capable of error. So right off the get, preacher woman here is going to say something I kind of agree with.
So now I want to move along. I want you guys to see that what they're doing is, it's that old, they must make a profit even if their product is harmful. It's like, oh no, we've spent our time and our resources and our whatever. We're going to profit off of this, no matter if it kills y'all. Okay? So profit over life. There is also a link to a website called Profit Over Life where I found some research, and they're bringing forward truths like this because that's what these big corporations are doing. They do not care about you and I.
Here, I can't really disagree. I do disagree with the premise that I don't think that most corporations, I'm not saying all, maybe some corporations are evil as fuck and don't give a shit if their products kill people, but I don't think that most corporations are trying to kill people. But that being said, I don't think that most corporations give a fuck about people either. Here, I cannot disagree too much with what she's saying. Thankfully, she's crazy as hell and the agreement isn't going to continue for long.
They just want our money. Okay, so, and nowadays they're lumped all together and they're called Big Pharma. And if you've had any dealings with insurance and Big Pharma and the doctors, you know what a headache it is. I don't even like talking about that stuff. If there's one thing that agitates me, Scott knows, it's that stuff. When I got to get on the phone with insurance companies and the pharmacy and figure out who approved or didn't approve and what's going on and what's being paid and what's not paid, and it is a big mess.
Damn, I'm going to agree with crazy preacher woman again? I'm a Bernie-crat. I hate big pharma. I hate big corporations. I think they're the enemy. I think they buy our government and utilize our government to make themselves wealthier and keep people like me stuck in the gutter. So I agree with her. I agree. Why don't you vote for Bernie Sanders, crazy preacher lady? Come 2020, he gonna be our next president. Raging Atheist is predicting that right now.
So, they don't care about you, they just care about your money. We're still talking about Bayer. Now, see this picture someone put together? Here's a little vial up here that straight up says heroin.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Heroin and Hitler.
Look at that. For those people doing dope on the streets, I wonder if they get it in a little packaged container with the name right there on it like that. Okay, then there's the big Bayer aspirin. Then you have Hitler over here, and you could be like, what? What's he have to do with any of that? Plenty. And so you see these little symbols over here. You see this IG. It stands for IG Farben. We're going to talk about this. Listen to this.
So this crazy preaching cultist, right from the get, kind of, we've been into the same video for a while now, but right from the get of this video, is going to show you how stupid she is. See, she thinks that every day back in the day was like it is today. Well, guess what? Back then, heroin used to be a prescription drug. It was a painkiller. Just like cocaine wasn't illegal and Coca-Cola could use it to put it in their product. Shit changes. We find out shit. It's called progression.
The United States government investigation of all the factors leading to the Second World War in 1946 came to the conclusion that without IG Farben, they're like a big chemical conglomeration, like a bunch of companies that make that up, okay, that went in together. Without that, the Second World War would simply not have been possible. So without all those chemical drug companies that went in together in that corporation, they would not have even have had the Second World War.
Now this is almost true. I mean, almost. It's not really true, but it's based in truth. Alright, so I'm not sure if Bayer was one of the companies that helped the Germans. You know, and it's not even like they helped the Germans. They were forced to cooperate because they were German companies. You know, I really can't see Hitler taking no for an answer. But there were companies, chemical companies, and maybe what she's talking about is that, I don't know, I'm not going to research this crazy shit because I can just use my logic to get beyond it. But there obviously were companies supplying the gas for Hitler to kill the Jews, supplying chemicals, and you know, Hitler's army was very advanced and they were using gas on the battlefield. You know, so yes, of course, there were German-based companies that was helping Hitler. The entire fucking country of Germany was helping Hitler. He was their supreme leader. That's what fascism is. You can't say no to the leader of a fascist government. It goes against the point. You know, like right now, you can't say no to Donald Trump. But to sit there and say that World War II wouldn't have happened without that gas is ludicrous. I mean, you don't think that Hitler would have just shot all of them or butchered all of them, tortured all of them? I mean, there's plenty of ways to kill them besides gassing them. Gassing them was just one of the most efficient ways of the time. So for you to say that World War II wouldn't have happened without this shows how fucking crazy you are.
Couldn't have done it. That's how much of a role chemicals and drugs played in the Second World War and are still playing in our society today. So they go on and they say, we have to come to grips with the fact that this was not the psychopath Adolf Hitler or bad genes of the German people that brought about the Second World War. They're saying it wasn't even about them and about that. It was economic greed.
Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. You know, in fact, I can pretty much tell you what you're saying is just bullshit. Hitler gained power using very old tricks of the trade for an authoritarian dictator to use. He is very similar to our current president. He used race politics, the other, to rile up his people and make them afraid and be like, only Hitler can save us from the Jews. It's kind of what he did. Now, I'm not saying economics wasn't involved at all. I have studied World War II, and I do know that economics was involved. It's just how you're saying it isn't truthful at all. Like, I mean, you know, I try not to be stereotypical. You know, I'm from the South. But you are the reason people think Southern people are fucking stupid.
By companies like Bayer, BASF, and Hoechst was the key factor in bringing about the Holocaust. Those greedy dogs were like, we want you to use our stuff, and they kept making more and different things and doing all their experiments with their chemicals. Now, I pulled this up because I was trying to understand who is or what is IG Farben, right? You see all these little companies at the top, all these little chemical companies and stuff. All of these that they have listed out are part of and affiliated with this IG Farben. This first one over here, BASF, and it says, we create chemistry. The next one, Monsanto. Woo! You guys are familiar with good old Monsanto. He's been around quite a while. He didn't just surface with Obama.
Of course he didn't surface with Obama. I mean, everybody knows Monsanto's been around forever. I mean, for a long time. Rich motherfuckers deserved to get what he's getting now, or what they're getting now. But I mean, this whole thing, like, this one major corporation would have subsidiary companies And oh my God, these companies do chemistry because guess what? Chemistry exists and some companies have to do fucking chemistry. I mean, what the fuck are you saying? You don't want nobody doing chemistry? I mean, you just promoting stupidity?
That's when I first started hearing about him is in the Obama administration. But he's been around doing his stuff. Then you got DuPont, Sanofi or Sanofi, I haven't heard of that one, and then Bayer. And it gives you the definition of all this chemical companies. I want to tell you that one that says we create chemistry, you better believe they create chemistry, and it ain't nothing good about it either.
Nothing good about it? Nothing. You know, I had actually went on their page and recorded like all of their fucking products, and it's literally a list of shit that you use on an everyday basis. You know, toothpaste. You know, like chlorine for your pool. You know, the salt tablets for your water softener. I mean, shit that you wouldn't think of, like, you know, the chalk for a pool stick. You know, just basic shit. Chemistry is what made modern society fucking modern. Science, yo, science. But of course these religious people hate science. They hate science, don't they? Now, I'm not here to defend big corporations, but I will defend science, yo.
Something I learned while I was out there online doing that research. Look at this here. You've got Bayer and Monsanto shaking hands, coming into agreement. They are in a merger.
I don't know if that's true. You don't know if that's true. You finding a picture on the internet of two people shaking hands with Monsanto on one sleeve and Bayer on the other doesn't make it fucking true either. And you know what? With Monsanto's recent problems, I'm betting if there was a merger, there ain't no more. And besides that, wasn't her most recent point like Bayer and Monsanto was all subsidiaries of that big-ass corporation she was talking about? Make up your mind, chick.
And look at them. You know what it's about. You see that money? That's exactly what it's about. That's their God. That's what Satan is about, okay?
I can't. Oh, my God. That's what Satan's about, okay? You don't use money? Every time you use money, are you using Satan? Do you not see how fucking hilarious you are? And I'm not laughing with you. I'm laughing at you.
If he can get them to bow down to money, he's got them. And let me tell you what, they're sleeping in bed together. It's all about money. These two companies, they want to see you dead. And until then, they want to use you and me, all of us, like slaves.
I mean, do you understand what a slave is? You know, slaves have no choice. They have no freedom at all. You know, I couldn't be sitting here recording to you about how you're not a slave. You know, like, I mean, you're fucking retarded. Now, I'm a Bernie-crat. I am progressive. I am a social democrat. You know, I'm all against big pharma and big corporations, and I really want to see a mixture of socialism infused with our capitalism. I'm not saying let's go straight socialist. I'm saying, you know, America's already got socialist elements to it. Let's take what works from the rest of the world, infuse it in with what works with capitalism. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. I don't think that anybody needs to be making $283 million a day or whatever the fuck Jeff Bezos makes. Nobody needs that kind of money. And if capitalism is going to run rampant like that and make such abuse of wealth not only apparent, but hey, it's capitalism, then fuck capitalism. We need to do something different, and that's what I'm about. But this chick, what she's saying is just fundamentally wrong. You can't fight a battle with untruth. You have to be on the right side of history. And in order to be on the right side of history, you gotta know history.
We're going to find out why I said that in just a second. See this next picture? Here's one somebody put together. You got Monsanto over here with his gas mask on because he knows he's spraying that Roundup, which is deadly stuff, on all the crops that we're growing over here in the United States, and I'm sure around the world. Okay, so he's spraying it up. Then you got Bayer over here. I don't know what he's trying to hold. What's so good about his tomato-looking lettuce thing other than the fact he's holding it up for this other guy to spray it? I don't know what that part of it means. But here in the background, you see the Bayer chemical factories putting out their pollution and their chemicals, right?
I mean, it's funny. It's hilarious that she's just using these crazy-ass photos off the internet as part of her presentation about weather warfare, mind you. We haven't even gotten to that, probably won't. But that's funny, that's hilarious, and we'd have a good laugh just at that. But what's even funnier is how she's spending so much time going into each minute detail of said crazy ass photo from the internet.
All right, I want to tell you something. Nothing good will come from this merger. Nothing. Nothing but poison and killing and profiting. Let's look at 1 Timothy 6:10, talking about who they serve and who their God is. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. These people are chasing the money. That's all they want. Human life, nothing matters to them. They just want the money.
Again, I'll agree to that. They want the money. They're chasing the money. You're chasing God and these crazy-ass conspiracy theories. I chase the truth. Everybody chases something. It's part of being human. It's called having desires. It's called having, passion. And I agree that these companies, shouldn't be considered human beings using free speech when they bribe politicians to get tax breaks like Donald Trump gave them. I agree to that. But I can't agree that these companies, unless you have solid proof of it, are selling their products with baseless regard to human life. I don't believe that because there's no evidence of it. I would love to demonize these corporations in that way if I could. It would make the revolution that much easier to start, right? And I'm not talking bloody revolution. I'm talking the Bernie crap revolution, our revolution. It would be easier to get more people on our side if they were just fucking killing everybody. But I can't speak untruth. It isn't me. That's going to be it for today. Like I said, the whole point of this lecture was weather warfare and a bunch of crazy shit. We never even got to that. We just got all this other crazy shit. But I was scrolling through and she's got a ton of other crazy lectures and I want to do something different with her. So next time I do Three Hearts Church, it's going to be something different. But that's going to be a while because my next Crazy Cults episode, I really want to get back into the Quiverful movement. So my next Crazy Cults video will be Quiverful movement. My next video after this one will probably be another Matt Powell video. And, I just come up with them. And if, as always, if you guys have ideas for videos, put them in the comments section. Sometimes I forget. So if I told you I wanted to make a video and you haven't seen it yet, remind me. I forget. I'm studying a lot of shit, researching a lot of shit. I work a full-time job. I got an 8-year-old little girl. I forget. I'm human. So put it in the comments section if you want to see me talk about something. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share me on your social media. Comment in the comments section below. I'll see you soon.